Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a special Thai seafood dish. It is called gong pat prikria. It is a shrimp dish with chili, garlic, and salt. It's just a wonderful combination and it's great over rice. And there's one dish that you should definitely try out. There's not a lot of ingredients involved, so you should have very fresh shrimp, fresh garlic, and fresh chilies. And just a few simple Thai seasoning sauces like light soy sauce, oyster sauce, and this is a Thai seasoning sauce. This is very similar to Thai light soy sauce. So it's got soybeans, it's got salt, a bit of sugar, but these are widely used in Thai households and even used in Thai restaurants. Okay, so first things first, let's get to the shrimp. This is 200 grams of shrimp. I already took off the shells and cleaned them up. But I left the tails on just for the looks, right? So this is the type of shrimp that I use. It's a pretty large shrimp with the head on, with the shells on. I'm gonna take it off and show you how to clean it. So just pop off the head and remove the shell on the body and just leave the tail intact. And then we're gonna cut down the spine, a shallow cut, and we're gonna take out the poop chute. There you go, just like that. So if you go to the supermarket and you want to buy shrimp, you would need 400 grams of shrimp because shrimp weigh double when they have their heads and shells on. So Thailand is a major exporter of shrimp, so I can find shrimp all year long, fresh shrimp, never frozen. So when we drive to our mother-in-law's area, not only are there a lot of rice paddies, there are also a lot of shrimp farms. To season the shrimp, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And then just use your hands and rub the salt into the shrimp. Okay, just like that, and just leave it aside. Okay, so now it's time to get to the garlic. I'm using Thai garlic, and I recommend that you should use Thai garlic too because this would make the dish more authentic. Thai garlic is smaller than the usual garlic that you see, but many countries now, big supermarkets, they should be carrying Thai garlic. The skin of Thai garlic is much more thinner, so these are edible. So I'm gonna leave the skin on, but if you want, whoops, lost one. But if you want, you can take it off. But as you can see, there's a lot of garlic here, so it's a little bit of a hassle. Now, if you can't find Thai garlic, just use regular garlic. Now right here, I have 30 grams of Thai garlic. So for regular garlic, you would need half. So you would need 15 grams of regular garlic if you cannot find Thai garlic. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mortar and pestle and just grind up my Thai garlic. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, you can just use a food processor. And if you don't have a food processor, then use a knife and chop it up and mash it up as best as you can. But I highly recommend that if you're making a lot of Thai dishes, you should invest in a mortar and pestle because a mortar and pestle actually helps brings out the essential oils and flavors of the ingredients much better than a food processor. It's a bit chunky and all mashed up. Doesn't have to be too fine, okay? Thai garlic has a much more stronger flavor, but the flavor sort of mellows out. So it's one of the reasons why I love using Thai garlic. All right, so just put everything back into a small bowl and set it aside. Okay, so now it's time to talk about the chilies. So these chilies, I have about 10 here. These are Prik Chee. These are like the medium size chilies. Just to give you a visual reference, this is a spur chili because the smallest Thai chilies are these. These are Prik Kinu, which basically means mouth dropping or mouth shit, you know. So the general rule of thumb is for chilies is that the smaller it is, the spicier it is. The color of the chili does not matter at all. And you can see these are quite small and these are quite deadly. I'm only gonna be using 4 pieces because, you know, if you add too much, it's like eating pepper spray. So if you can't take spicy foods, just leave these out. So I'm just gonna cut out the stems and drop them into my mortar. And then just mash these up too. And just grind it up, just mash it and grind it up. And that's it. Only took me like 30 seconds to do this. Not a lot of work. See, kind of looks like salsa chunks. And as you can tell, I left the seeds in because for Thai cuisine, we never take out the seeds. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is fry up my garlic. Just a shallow fry. And you don't wanna fry your garlic too long because it's gonna burn and turn bitter. So I just wanna fry my garlic until it turns slightly brown. And I don't have my heat on too high, so this should be ready in about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, I'll remove my garlic. It is so fragrant. So remove as much of the garlic as you possibly can, and my heat is on medium, and I'm going to use the same oil to fry up my shrimp. This should only take about 3 minutes because there's not a lot of shrimp. And I'm looking for my shrimp to just curl up. And you just want your shrimp to just have a nice light brown color. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna turn on my heat. And I'm just gonna remove my shrimp. Look at that. Nice, plump, a light brown color. Beautiful. All right. Set this aside. All right, so I cleaned my wok out and I'm gonna turn my heat on to a medium-high heat. And as soon as my wok heats up, I'm gonna add some fresh oil, about 2 tablespoons. Spread the oil around and toss in my fresh chili. And you wanna mix up your chili quickly and don't let it burn too. And now throw in the shrimp and the garlic. And mix it up. And I'm gonna turn my heat down to medium. So here's where we gotta sort of work quickly. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of light soy sauce. About 2 teaspoons of oyster sauce. And a teaspoon of seasoning sauce. Give these a stir. Check that out. And then turn off the heat and just mix up the seasoning for just a few seconds with the heat off. Okay, break out some jasmine rice, shrimp. Oh, check this out. Doesn't that just look delicious? It's salty, it's spicy, and garlicky. Let's try one of these out. Look at that. Oh, nicely coated with the sauce. Still has garlic and chili stuck to it. Got digging the rice too. Just an awesome flavor combination. I like the fingers too.